Hi there everyone, it's Teal Swan here before the video to ask you, please, if you like these videos, share them publicly so that people around the world can have access to this kind of information and we can make the kind of change on the planet that we want to see. On top of that, I want to remind you that if you love these videos, I have all kinds of information that's not available just on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook. My page is Teal Swan, the Spiritual Catalyst. You can also follow me on Instagram, Teal, the Spiritual Catalyst. I also want you to visit my website, www.tealswan.com, so you can see all the live events that I'm doing around the world. I hope to see you there. We want to create the life we want. Then why is it so damn hard? It is so incredibly hard for people to understand why it is that we aren't manifesting the things we want in life. And this is because we aren't aware of our resistance. We aren't aware of the actual relationship we have with things in our life. Resistance is an oppositional force. We can meet with resistance in the external world and the internal world. Now you know what external resistance looks like. People, places, events, and things that are opposing you. But what we have to accept is that external resistance is a reflection of internal resistance, most of which we are completely unconscious of. To understand resistance in depth, watch my video titled Urgent, Deal with Your Resistance Before You Do Anything Else. The resistance that we have present within us makes for a strange relationship with anything we have resistance to. You can't have a good relationship with money if you have a bad attitude towards money, any more than you can have a good relationship with a partner if you have a bad attitude towards that partner. Life consists entirely of relationships. We are in a relationship with every single aspect of our life, and therefore every aspect of your life can be treated like a relationship. It's obvious that we have a better relationship with certain things than we do with other things. But if we look at it from this revolutionary approach, all we have to do in life to live a happy life is to improve our relationship with each aspect of our life. We have to become aware of the resistance we have and consciously dissolve that resistance if we want to manifest something in our lives. For this reason, one of the best exercises you can do is to become more aware of the relationship you have with each aspect of your life. To do this exercise, you're going to examine the relationship you have with each aspect of your life. And you're going to do it in this format. Blank, I think you are blank. For example, money, I think you are, and then a whole list of the things you think about money. For this exercise, I want you to be as brutally honest as you can. This is not the time to be politically correct. This is the time to be totally raw, authentic, and as unevolved as you can possibly become. I don't want you to try to be balanced in your approach. You can feel free to write positive things and negative things, assuming that positive and negative things exist, but what you'll find is relative to certain things, your list will be almost entirely positive, and relative to other things, they'll be almost entirely negative. Spiritual people love to bypass. What they love to do is to think, okay, it's not okay to have this negative of an attitude towards something. And so a person who's spiritual tends to be completely unaware of their negative side, shall I say. That is not the time for this exercise, because this exercise is about becoming aware of the reality that's going on within you in terms of your relationship with certain things. The truth is, if you were more balanced in your actual thoughts about things, you would be in a completely different place than you are with your manifestations. Once you have compiled this list, what I want you to do is to imagine being on the other side of this list, as if you are the thing being talked about. For example, if you do this, I think money is blank, and then you write that whole list, imagine that whole list is being written not about money, but about you. How would you feel towards you in that scenario? For example, would you feel like coming closer or going further away from you? Also, assuming that the universe wants to bring things that you want into your life, if the universe was looking over that list, what would the universe feel about bringing that into your life? Would the universe want to do that, or no? I'll give you an example of what this might look like. Let's say that somebody is trying to do a list relative to wanting to manifest women friends, but manifesting women friends has proven very difficult. Here's what this list might look like. Women friends, I think you are conniving, impossible to make it work with, temporary, incapable of creating resolve for conflicts, bitchy, jealous, devious, fake, false, unpredictable, physically beautiful, likely to betray me and everyone else for that matter, manipulative, just looking for the opportunity to stab me in the back and use any vulnerability I've shared with them against me, can understand the problems I'm having with men, can relate to most of the struggles I face, competitive for no reason, gossipy, horrible with money, have terrible priorities, flirty, conspire against me, gang up against me, petty, stupid about things that there's no reason to be stupid about, like driving cars. Moving on to the second part of this exercise, if I was the one having written this list, how would I feel if this list was written about me? I would not feel like being around Teal at all. In fact, I'd feel pretty much like turning against her. If I was the universe, I wouldn't really want to, given this list, bring women into Teal's life. I would feel like the message that Teal is giving me is, keep women the hell away from me. Keep them at an arm's length, maybe so I can just look at them from a distance. It's also obvious, from an external perspective looking at this list, that what Teal would be a vibrational match to in this circumstance is women who don't actually want friendship from her, but want something else. It would also be obvious that Teal has a lot of traumas relative to other women, and especially women in early life, that she's got to focus on and create some resolve around in order to move into a different space of manifestation relative to this thing. Basically, if whoever compiles this list wants to manifest women friends, these oppositional thoughts, beliefs, traumas, and actions that she takes as a result of them have to be worked with directly so the resistance present within her no longer holds her out of the vibrational range to actually manifest women friends. Do this exercise relative to anything you want to manifest in life and also with things you have manifested. It's really good to see the contrast between the types of lists you write with things that you feel good towards and things that you have a mixed vibration, shall we say, about. But here's a list of some really good things to try this with. Money, romantic relationships, mom, dad, society, the universe or God, spirit guides, marriage, cars, food, exercise, meditation, the government, the city you live in, your career, your body, your health, life in general, family, emotions, your mind, how you look, your hobbies, your home, your community, your kids, and your partner. In order to manifest something you want, you have to have a positive relationship with that thing. Now, you don't immediately have to know how to do this. I'll give you some good news. Most of my content available today is about how to go about doing this. But the first step is to become completely conscious of the actual relationship you have, and then the real work begins about releasing resistance, so that you can come into a state of complete alignment with the things that you're wanting to manifest. The life that you are wanting is waiting for you on the other side. Have a good week.